Hey y'all, beautiful sunny South Florida. Well, Florida. I'm stuck here in the car because I wanted to smoke a cig. It's the only place that's not soaked, and I got a charger here because my phone's dead. So, anyways, I wanted to give my solution to the unsolvable riddle, and I think that as soon as you hear my solution to the unsolvable riddle, you'll say, wow, he really did figure it out. So here goes. The unsolvable riddle, first of all, it starts out saying it's unsolvable. So it's like you have to be an idiot going into it or a little vain because you're trying to solve something that's telling you it's unsolvable. Um, but it goes a little something like this. It's also known as the riddle of the Sphinx. Uh, According to what I understand, the Sphinx would stand guard and he'd ask you this riddle, and if you didn't have the answer, he'd eat you. So, the riddle is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. So everybody and their mothers like chimed in to try to solve this thing, and they've given really good answers and stuff. The problem is, okay, I'm gonna break it down to you, and you're gonna understand why this is unsolvable and what the riddle really is. What happens? So, what happens? Let's turn it into an equation. What happens is equals, right? When an unstoppable force, which is what's an unstoppable force? It's not defined. So the problem is you have to give it an x because its value is unknown. So what happens when x meets y? Because an immovable object is also not defined. So you have to give it a y value. So what happens when, and you can't even put plus, minus, subtracts because when they meet, what does meet mean? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, powers of, root of? So basically you have an equation that is x, you can't even put a plus or a minus or multiplication or division. Y equals z. You know, solve. It's impossible because the problem is every answer would be correct, but not every answer would be complete. You understand? So I can give any value I want for x, and I can multiply it or divide it or subtract it or whatever, and whatever value I want for y, and give a value for z, and it would be correct. But the thing is, it's not complete. That's not the only answer. So it truly is unsolvable, and it's not really asking you to solve it. It's trying to ask, why is it unsolvable? Essentially, it's an idiot trap. It's a trap for people who are intellectually arrogant, I guess, and narcissistic and think that they can solve this. It's so the riddle's not asking you again. It's the riddle is asking really if you're listening to what the riddle is saying. It's like it's an unsolvable riddle. So it's a it's an idiot trap, a mind bomb. You know, you try to solve it, and here's the problem with it. Every time you give a solution for it, a couple of days later you'll be like, no, this one's better, and you're happy. So it's really an idiot trap. I imagine that this must have been something that they told children, like back in the ancient world, you know? And over time, it's like it kind of lost the rest of the meaning, which is, yeah, a trap for arrogant people, essentially. So that's my solution to the unsolvable riddle. So in the situation where you have to stand in front of an animal, a sphinx, who is going to let you pass or eat you, regardless, depending on what your answer is to the riddle, the only answer is to ask it back. So when it asks you what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, you just say, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? And yeah, that's it. That's the only solution to the riddle. And then let his sphinx ass give you all the possible answers while you walk past him. So the solution to the riddle is the riddle itself. Again, if I gave an equation, x plus y equals z, solve. That's the only solution. You can't break it down into anything less than that. So that's my solution. I just gave it here in a rainy day, but I wanted to get that out there. I think that is the actual solution, and I think that everybody that has tried to solve it, you fell for the trap. So congratulations. Anyways, peace out. I'm gonna finally smoke this cigarette. I just wanted to share that because again, I'm stuck here in the car. So peace.